Hey guys, what's going on? So it is Monday, May 8th, and we're gonna go over the few pairs that are actually supposedly only there's like two check marks, which is ridiculous because yesterday there was like over 10 or 12. Most of them actually haven't done it, but this is cool because this is gonna keep it short and sweet. But also this tells me that whatever gold check marks were called yesterday, they're going to keep going in that same direction, hopefully. But based off of how I've been seeing the markets recently, that usually when there's no new trends, it's going to just continue in that direction. And if they don't, they're going to reverse tonight, reverse midweek, whatever it's going to be. But let's go over two of the pairs here. Well, actually, I'm going to go over the pairs I took trades on last night. So my favorite pairs that we looked at last night were CAD Chef, NZD Chef, and USD Chef, and gold. I didn't take gold. It didn't really set up the way I wanted it to, so I left it out. But I traded the other cheap pairs, and I gotta keep saying something about these cheap pairs in this dashboard. It's like the two of them go hand in hand. It's ridiculous. So let me go over CAD Chef real quick. That's one of the pairs. And this one, it kind of hit up to the high. It broke the high here yesterday or on Friday. And then it could just consolidated all night. And I still have this for a buy, right? I'm still in this for a buy. And I don't really see this pulling back. One thing I've noticed is that when chief pairs break that structure, they don't usually pull back hard. They tend to just consolidate at the point that where they were at, and then they could just continue up to that next level, which is pretty cool. So, um, okay, well, this is the floating pairs, just so you guys see. This is a prop firm account. This is I have a CAD Chef pair and ZD Chef and USD Chef, and I'm riding these out still. I've been holding them since last night. Well, technically early this morning, but been holding them, and we're gonna keep holding them until I see fit that they need to be pulled out. But at the moment, I don't see that. But let me look at CAD Chef here. I'm on the one. So the thing about this, and one thing that I've noticed is when price hits that new high and it breaks structure and it hits these EMAs, something happens where usually when you get a break of structure and a new high formed, we would get something like, this, where it pulls back, then it goes up. But what I've noticed is that when price hits the EMAs, especially the blueberry, and it's like riding it, price doesn't usually pull back. It just consolidates on that line until it takes off. So that's just from experience. That's from seeing how all of this plays out over time. So my gut instinct and everything that I'm seeing based off the market is that this is not going to really pull back. This is going to keep consolidating here and gonna go up. If I do notice something in that sense, because mind you, this is divergent, which most people would think, like I've been showing, that you definitely want to look for that pullback on an ideal situation. But that aspect of how I look at the divergence, it changes, that story changes when you are in certain circumstances. And this is one of those circumstances of like price is stuck in the middle on a blueberry. It might not pull back, even though it's divergent. That doesn't mean anything. Divergence isn't always 100%. That could fool you. That could just be there to accumulate contracts. And then they push up one more time. And this push up that goes up to a higher high could actually mean just a little bit like this and then drop. And guess what? It's still technically divergent, right? So you have to be careful, not just think that, oh, it's divergent, it's just going to drop now. You don't be naive. This could still go up and it could still be divergent on a longer time frame. You just got to be patient with it. So I still believe this is going to go up. I still have this for a buy, and I actually have it to the ADR high, right up here. I think it's the ADR high. It's like right above it. But I mean, I'll see where it goes. Oops, what did I just do? I moved my stop loss. Whoopsies. I'll fix that. I'm not worried about it. So yeah, that's the CAD Chef. Now let me go to NZD Chef. This was the other pair that I'm trading. This is kind of in a similar situation, except the EMA that it's hitting isn't on the 4 hour, it's on the daily, right? So it's hitting the daily water. And typically people would think, if you look at history, I mean, let's go back here, hit the water here, hit the water here, hit the water here.
Those points never broke structure.
Yeah, it never broke. Well, these went down. These were continual. You're saying that this didn't break that. So it wasn't a significant structure push. While this was the last push down, it broke it, causing a break of structure. Most people would think, okay, push up, then down, and then back up. But I don't think if it does anything, it might push up one more time and drop because it is getting set for that reversal. So I'm paying attention to this pair closely. I'm just seeing how it's going to react to everything. I mean, I'm looking at the 4 hour. Thing about the 4 hour too is there's no divergence on this 4 hour. And when I don't see divergence, I keep going in the same direction. I'm not going to sit here and try to predict the reversal. There's nothing telling me there is a reversal. The only thing that could happen on this 4 hour time frame is a pullback. And if it pulls back, it's still going to go up. There's nothing prepping me for a reversal. This is still going to go up. And on top of that, look at the EMAs. The EMAs were fanned out here, right? You got all this space. And when there's a lot of space between the EMAs, price becomes volatile and it moves easily between them. So the fact that this still has room, I mean, this could go up all the way to this blueberry. If so, I mean, shit, I'm going to capture all of that, but I'm going to grab it here for now, which is the recent structure to this side. I took this point as the structure because what was once support becomes resistance. So I have that as my take profit, which matches the ADR high. And that wasn't the ADR high from yesterday. This recalibrated to today, and it just happened to be my take profit was sitting at the new ADR high, which is only more of an added confirmation for me. It's an aligned path, if you will. So I'm still looking for the buys on that. I'm still holding. It's going to pull back. I think it's just going to consolidate for a minute and then shoot up, but we'll be paying attention. Now I got USD Chief. So USD Chief, similar thing. It is divergent on a daily time frame, so that's cool. So you got price going down. You have price going up over with a shark fin oversold, which is always good, but you don't want to predict the reversal. The only reason I took this for a buy was because yesterday or on Friday it broke structure. Damn, it broke this structure, right? So, and it came up, it didn't form a new high, but it had enough momentum to actually continue, pull back for another retest. So it's either going to retest this high or it's going to retest this high. And the reason I have my take profit to this high is because this is where the Mayo is. And the Mayo on the 4 hour, well, it's actually not the daily water, but price tends to want to go back to the overall 200 EMA right after breaking that 50. And I think it's going to do that. This is telling me like you got like a cut pattern forming, right? It's going to just continue in that direction. Might not be like a clear, path like that. It might look like this, like jag it and then continue up. But overall, this thing is still going up and I'm holding it for sure. So I like it. I'm still in it for the long run. I've been testing my limits and my faith on higher time frames. They never disappoint. In the last couple of weeks, I've taken trades out early where I'm like, I don't know what it's going to do. And the higher time frames are saying they're going to continue, but the lower time frames are messing with my mind. So I take it out and I'm like, okay, I got my profit. And then the next day happens and like all the trades I took out early all continued in that same direction. And I was like, fuck, man, I was right. I let the fear of potential reversals get in my head when the higher time frame said none of that was there. So all of this is showing continuation. And I guess I'll post the results of that happening later tonight and see what happens. But all right, now let's get into the dashboard aspect. So we have Chief JPY for 2-day peak formation low, right? So I'm going to go to Chief JPY. So overall, we have an uptrend, which is good. Let me delete this. Let me actually go to the weekly first. So we have this which tells me we're more so looking for sells, but it's not a definite sell. The reason why I don't like saying this for a buy just off the weekly, mind you, this is just the weekly, is because it's already at a high. So it just broke this high, right? So now we have a new high. And one thing I always keep saying in every single chart is buy low, sell high. And the fact that this is at a high already, can it continue up? Yeah, for sure. But we have to confirm that with the lower time frame. So if I go to the daily, I don't see any divergence, right? So that's telling me one thing of, okay, it's probably not going to be like it's not going to be a reversal. So I don't really want to look for that. It did throw a fat wick here on the daily. Traders trapped right on the EMA. That's cool. Now, and it's above the 50 here. More so an uptrend than anything. I'm not looking for sales yet, but let's see what the 4-hour says. I don't see any breaks of structure to the low, and the peak formation is right here. We did break here, actually. So I'm noticing this. Here's the break of structure. That was a peak. That was the last push down. This is the institutional candle, essentially. Price is going up. It breaks structure up to the top. One would assume that we are going to see consolidation here and then a push up to the high. That's where we want to see it. Just off the 4-hour from what I'm seeing so far. So, yeah, this looks like it is going to be. The only thing I don't like, though, is this isn't divergent. And I do like divergence that goes with the trend. These are still like, this peak right here is higher than this peak. And same with this. This peak is higher than this peak. So when I see that, it's not really divergence. So if this does go up, it's strictly going to be to this high. It might not actually take this out. I have no idea yet. But just off of what I'm seeing, this looks like it will be a buy. So we'll see how this plays out. Let me go to the 15-minute just to be sure. Yeah, there's no divergence in the 15-minute. The EMAs are tight. EMAs are tight. That's why it's consolidating right now. If the most that we would want to see from this is maybe like a stop hunt low and then the continuation. That would be the most ideal. This could be one of those pairs though, just because I've seen this a bunch of times. But you have price, it's stuck in the channel. Well, it's not a channel, but it's stuck in a wedge. This is just price trap. This is a retail pattern. So price is getting trapped in here. And after they've accumulated enough, what they're going to do is they'll stop hunt in the wrong direction. And then they'll continue up. That's most likely what we want to see. Can it be a straight shot? Yeah, possible. Don't bank on it. I'm sticking to my pairs. I'm going to see how this ends up playing tonight. This is a cross pair too. So this is cheap JPY. What you need to pay attention to is USD Chief and USD JPY. If those pairs start consolidating, then this pair will start ranging. But if USD JPY and USD Chief all are moving, then technically this is going to keep consolidating. That's just part of the aspects of that. Now, let me go over the next one, which is Euro Chief. I'm not really a fan of this one just because it had 2 recent peak formations like the same day, which is weird, right? So it had peak formation low, peak formation high. It's stuck in the middle. I don't like that. So let's see. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like how price does this. Let me go to the 4-hour. Overall, it's starting to make its way down. It's stuck in the middle of here and here. It's too choppy. It's too ugly. Yep. I mean, technically, this is still a downtrend because you have this was the recent peak high, this was the recent peak low, and then you have lower low, lower high, right? So it's still technically a sell. So if we are looking to continue with the direction of the downtrend, then we want to be able to look for a pullback drop. That's the most logical thing. I mean, we can try to predict the reversal to the upside, but you're gambling. there's no certainty, there's no clarity in what it's going to do in that aspect. So it might not even stop hunt. It might just consolidate on the water and then just tank, especially since the volatility bands are getting tight. It's beneath the 50 line already. If it does stop hunt, it's not going to be long. It's going to be pretty quick, and then this is going to continue. See some divergence. Zoom in. There's a small divergence, not really anything big. This might just be a continuation, to be honest. We'll see how it goes. Not my favorite setup, but that's what I'm paying attention to. And I mean, we got these pairs going on, but I'm not really going to go over every single one of these because I did that yesterday. It looks like, what pair is this? Euro NZD? Just see what that did. Yeah, so it consolidated the other day. This was Sunday, Monday. It dropped. The peak formation was high up here, so it just confirmed the continuation of that. This is Monday, right? 4, 5. Yeah, so this is Sunday, Monday. Interesting. Didn't even have a stop on. Nothing happened to this pair on Friday. There was nothing. Euro AD. This one just continued in that direction. I would wait for a pullback of some sort. 80 Chief. This pair continued. This is one of the pairs that could have been a buy, but it didn't really have any major like things going on with it, so I just let it be. We have Euro CAD. Euro CAD was a peak formation high, but it's not even showing. One of the things we're going to fix about this thing. It still continued though. Continued to drop down yesterday. Peak formation low, NZD JPY. I didn't take any JPY pairs, but this went up last night. I believe GJ went up too. Or I think it actually reversed. So it went up for a second, then reversed. Yeah, I mean, I'm sticking to the pairs I have. Ooh. Yeah, this is NZD Chief. Still holding on to this. This still looks good. I mean, thing about it too is that it is divergent, but I have faith. I know this will play out. And if it doesn't, I'll pull out. I'm in profit, so it's not like it matters, but not really a lot of setups tonight. We'll probably see something going into Wednesday. Because technically, what's today? Tuesday? Monday, May 8th. So yeah, it's technically Tuesday trading. We'll probably see some more movement going into Wednesday, Thursday. But yeah, that's it, guys. I mean, not really a lot tonight. Continuations on these pairs. If you guys have the dashboard, just look for the setups that go over that. Unless you guys have something you want me to go over specifically. If not, I'll see you guys when we have some new trends going on and whether or not we're going to take them. But I'll see you guys next tomorrow. Thanks for hopping on.